Gary, okay. This is Dennis. I'm going to review your lesson from yesterday, Friday, huh? Yeah. Today's the 9th Saturday, so you had it on the 8th Friday. Okay, so what you tend to do in your setup is you got to be careful. I should only see one leg here, but you tend to get this part of your body open. And that leads to this position at the top, which is your bugaboo here. So, that's the top of your backswing, and you're aiming at probably the blue here, the club over there. That's what's called laid off a little bit. And I call it outside your hands, right? So this is outside your hands. If it was here, it would be in line with your hands. If it was here, it would be inside your hands. So if it's outside your hands at the top, there's always a good chance that it's going to get outside your hands at the bottom. And it's also going to get open. And that right there, and that's pretty far outside, right? So that mirrors the image at the top. So there you are up top, and then when you come down, it's outside. So the whole idea is to get you more down the line so that you can give it more hit from inside and not have to reroute it on the downswing, right? So I've always worked with you on this. This is not new, it's just a habit that you have. You have a very good swing, I've told you that all along. It's just prone to that particular mistake. Like every one of us, mine was kind of the opposite. In my playing days, I was always caught on the inside further than I should have been. But that was we all have it. I mean, so you're right now too far outside, and you've got to dive back under to try to save that swing. So next thing I want to point out to you here is this. And this is the sinking that I was talking about, trying to sink it up a little bit. But when you see most great players, when that arm is parallel to the ground like yours is there, it's across the chest with the shoulders fully turned. This arm right here is tight to his chest. His hands are about, yay high there. Your hands are about yay high there, about the same place, right? But you have very little shoulder turn. You haven't moved your shoulders much at all. You've moved your arms here a lot more than your shoulders. By the time you get to there, where your arm is parallel to the ground, like Sergio's is parallel to the ground, his back is completely to the target. That is your swing habit, Gary. That's the one you've always fought. Some people would refer to that as picking the club up too soon, taking it too outside. But I just call it, late with your shoulders. So your shoulders are trying to play catch up. And it's always going to point to the left if you don't rotate your body and pick it up inside. So what I've always done with you is try to square you up, turn you earlier, way before you even begin the club back. And that would help you a lot to feel that if you could. Because you still have, a lot of really good golf in you if we can get over a couple of these poor habits here. Plenty of speed. You haven't lost much speed. See if I had brought one for you from the top. No. But that, I think this illustrates the plan pretty well here. To get you turned earlier and to get those hands back inside of you. Now, you're up about, oh, the coupling on your hands is right about bicep high. And if I bring him up to bicep high, he's totally turned. And his hands are further behind him because he's rotating them back there. And that's just where it goes. So we've got to keep working on that. And then the part B of this is if you can get away from laying it off there at the top and having to reroute it back in here at the bottom, we're going to get rid of a lot of this hang back that you have in your downswing too. Because that's getting real inconsistent with the hits. But it's all there. It's almost as if you're left-handed a little bit, or left-handed at something. Because this is the type of error that I usually see in the lefty playing righty, or somebody who maybe throws or rights or something left-handed playing golf right-handed, because that's the position. It also opens this face a lot, Gary. So we have to keep working on that, huh? You're going to watch now. Taking it back real slow. Taking it back real slow just so you can see how it's all manufactured with the arms there. Clubs move 2 feet off the ball and the shoulders have done very little. Right? Look how far that club's moved and your shoulders haven't moved much at all. So we got to get this club set up. That's late. That's what we call late. We got to get that club more vertical earlier and the shoulders turned. That's already laid off real flat. So you got to set the club or set the wrist and turn the shoulders. Set the wrist and turn the shoulders. So even when you do get a nice full shoulder turn at the top, it's still not quite pointed down the line. It's still a little left over here. There it is, coming out flat too soon. That ball's pretty close to the heel there, isn't it? And the other thing is get away from this idea of where you get those shanks occasionally. Get away from this idea of humping into the ball like that. You have a strong move with your lower body toward the golf ball. There's your hand line. There's the seat line. And there's the club line. And what you do is force it all out. So you're bound to hit the heel sometimes. But that, again, that's an adjustment you're trying to make from that position of laid off, stuck at the top. We got to spend the rest of the time on the lessons here trying to get this club pointed out this way at the top. Then you drop it down and you keep your body nice and level through it, and you got it. Hands coming out, but club still laid off a little bit. Now it comes down outside the ball. And then one of the things that we worked on was to, I was standing there and I was holding the club here for you and letting you turn a little bit earlier. I mentioned the pictures of the hickory shafted golfers, how they look like they were dragging the handle away with the body rotating. A little better. So make it a goal, Gary, that by the time your lead arm, left arm there, gets parallel to the ground like it is there, have your shoulders fully turned and your wrist fully set. That's what we need. That's the goal. And that's not something there's a drill tool for or something that I can give you, but that's exactly where we want to go with it. And then you don't have to play catch up. And you have a better chance of coming down inside the ball. And if you don't have to come from outside the ball, you're not going to have to hang back as much as you do in your downswing or lunge out to it. Look where that ball is. Look where that club is in relation to the ball there, Gary. See that? Take that out of there. Let me show you this. See that? Look what's being applied there. The heel. Now sometimes you get it, like you pull it back down and you can pull it in and get away with that, but why worry about it? Let's just get it back inside. So to wrap up, and in the form of exaggeration, if your target here would be that blue post right here. If that be your target at the top, I would want your club way over here by the clubhouse. So pull it in and pick it up. Pull it in and set your wrist, because that's too far to the left. Everything you're doing is pointed over by the left side of the range, the first hole. I need you to get it in this way going back and point it over here to the 10th hole. Then you can let your arms fall naturally from the inside and then turn through the golf ball. But as it stands right now, it's always going to be a challenge for you because of that position right there at the top. There's two things you have to do. You got to set the wrist real early and turn the shoulders as early as possible to get you positioned, a better position at the top and a better timing at the top. And then we can make our move down. I think I sent you a confirmation. You asked me on an email about coming in next week, and I found a spot there for you. And I mailed you the confirmation. I don't have it here in front of me, but see, if you get the email where I mailed you the confirmation, just let me know you got it. All right, Gary, thanks.